Today I'm going to be giving you 35 top resources that all knife makers should know about. So as I was cleaning up my shop today, I realised that I've taken so much from other people with regards to learning so much from other people. So I thought I'd put a video together of 35 of the top resources and hopefully it can help somebody else out there. So this is going to be quite a comprehensive list of podcasts, of YouTube channels, forums, individuals to follow, and even some suppliers that you need to know about. So first up, I'm going to talk about podcasts. And quite obviously, I'm going to talk about my own podcast first, which is at knifetalk.net. I host that along with two other makers, Jeff Fader of Fader Knives and Mareko Mamasi of Mamasi Fire Arts. That's a weekly show and that goes live every Monday. Now, another podcast that I really think you should be listening to is the Blacksmiths Pub. That's not quite every week, and that's sort of geared around more sort of blacksmithing and knife making. But it's always a fun show. So that's the Blacksmiths Pub podcasts. And both of them are available on iTunes, Spotify, and all of the usual podcasting platforms. Now, next up is YouTube channels. And I love the fact that there are so many makers out there using YouTube to help people, to show them their workings out. I just think it's a great resource for any makers. And the first YouTube channel, which I think everybody should be subscribed to, is Alex Steele. Most people probably already know who Alec is. A young man, incredibly talented, great enthusiasm. Also has his own TV show now. So that's Alex Steele on YouTube. The next is Simple Little Life. So Jeremy, up in Canada, from Simple Little Life. He does a mixture of vlogs and knife making tutorials and knife making builds. Just comes across as a lovely guy. You almost feels we've been welcomed into his studio. So that's Simple Little Life on YouTube. And next is the channel that really helped me when I started making knives, and that's Walter Sorrells. Now I'm going to put links to all of these channels and all of these podcasts down in the descriptions. But Walter Sorrells, he's been making videos for quite some time, very professionally done. He's a great maker, and he releases videos, quite often on YouTube. So subscribe and check them out so you'll get them when they come. Now, another maker that every knife maker should know about is Nick Wheeler. He doesn't upload videos as often as he used to, but his videos are very, very, very comprehensive, and he's got this great way of sort of teaching you through his videos. So check out Nick Wheeler. Again, the descriptions are going to be below. Now, this next channel isn't necessarily a knife maker. It's Make Everything Shop. And literally, they make everything. Always entertaining, always filmed very, very well. So go check out Make Everything Shop. So Trollski is the next channel that I'd recommend. Trotsky, I think he's Polish, maybe Russian maker. He makes these beautiful, beautiful knives. He documents them very well in his videos. So go check out Trollski, which is Trollsky, I think. Now, the next channel that I've been subscribed to for quite some time and always puts out really good content is Sandy from Jack Lore Knives. So JACKLORE Knives. Sandy does these great videos, tutorial videos, complete build videos. Recently started doing sort of more vlogging content as well, but definitely worth a subscribe. So check out Jack Lore Knives. And the last channel that I'd recommend as part of this list, which I'm sort of ripping through at the moment, is Mike at EKIM Knives, so EKIM Knives, which I think is Mike backwards. Very clever. Mike makes these beautiful sort of folding knives, and he's been putting videos out for a long time. So you saw his journey from sort of beginnings to, becoming a full-time maker. So that's EKIM Knives, really well worth a subscribe. So next up, I've got individuals to follow. And the first is going to be my buddy Mareko Maumasi of Maumasi Fire Arts. Follow him on Instagram at Maumasi Fire Arts. The most beautiful mosaic knives that I've ever seen, all chef knives, and he's a lovely guy too. So go check out his work. He puts out some great tutorials on his Damascus, on what he calls his pattern weld Wednesdays, where he shows how he makes his patterns. But definitely worth a follow on Instagram. So that's Maumasi Fire Arts. Next up is my other co-presenter of Knife Talk, which is Jeff Fader of Fader Knives. Jeff makes incredible kitchen knives, bursting with personality. And again, you can find him on Instagram, and that's Fader Knives, Feder Knives. Another culinary knife maker, which I think everybody needs to follow, is Don Wynn, who makes incredible, beautiful sculpted handles to chef knives, sort of traditional Japanese styles as well, with the wire handles. He really is an incredible talent. So that's Don Wynn. I won't even try to spell that one, so that'll be down in the description. So we mentioned Alec Steele earlier with his YouTube channel. Now Alec has just started working with another maker, which is Will Stelter. And Will is on Instagram, Will Stelter, and his knives are incredible. He's a great personality. He does a lot of sort of live stuff as well, so he'll do Q&As whilst he's hand sanding or whatever he may be doing. So go check out Will Stelter on Instagram. Now the next maker is another Forged in Fire champion. It's Neil Kamimura. He makes these really gnarly looking, beautiful knives out of his shop in Hawaii. His feed is fantastic, so it shows his knives, the process of making his knives, but it also shows off his region as well, where he lives, and it's such a beautiful place. So go check out Neil Kamimura on Instagram. The next maker is Olivia Garriga, and she makes, again, almost like Neil's knives. They're very sort of rustic looking and very sort of badass looking knives, but she makes these fantastic knives, and again, she's got a great feed, great photography of her knives. So go check out Olivia Garriga on Instagram. Now my final individual to follow is Fingal Ferguson, who's based in Ireland. And he makes these really unique, mainly chef knives. He's got these beautiful handles and he gets an amazing polish on his blades. So he's always got good stuff on his feed. So go follow Fingal Ferguson on Instagram. It's definitely worth a follow. Really beautiful, beautiful knives. And finally, I come to equipment and suppliers. Now, I get asked so many times every week about where do I get such and such piece of equipment. And it can be very difficult because a lot of these pieces of equipment are very heavy and shipping them from overseas can be difficult. So I've got a list and hopefully this can help everybody. Now, the first piece of equipment which I think every knife maker needs is a heat treat oven. And when it comes to heat treat ovens, there's only one place to go, really, if you want something very good, and that's Evenheat. So evenheat-kiln.com, they do incredible ovens. They've got distributors around the world, so wherever you are, you should be able to get yourself an Evenheat. Next up is grinders. So I'm going to give you two options. So the first being AMK, and that's amktactical.com. They make very, very affordable and amazing grinders. Very, very good grinders. The second is Beaumont Metalworks, who make the KMG grinder, which a lot of people know about. There have been a lot of clones made of KMGs, but very, very solid grinders. Now next up is belts. So you're going to need some belts. So you've got yourself a heat treat oven, you've got yourself a grinder, you're going to need some abrasive belts. So I use Combat Abrasives, who are based in the US, but they will ship worldwide. So that's combatabrasives.com. And they make a very sort of low grit belt, a ceramic belt called the Shredder, which is incredible. It just eats steel. But if you're based in UK or Europe and you're looking for belts, I can also recommend BND Abrasives, and I think that's bndabrasives.co.uk. Again, the link will be down in the description. They sell great belts, they deliver throughout Europe, and they do some really good stuff. Now, another supplier based in the UK, which I use so often, is Ground Flat Stock, or GFS. And David from there, he's great. The customer service is incredible. So they're based in the UK. I order stuff here in France, and I get it within 2 days. So they do belts, they do G10, they do steels. Obviously, I get most of my steels from them. But they're great customer service. So that's Ground Flat Stock, based in the UK, but they will deliver anywhere throughout Europe. If you're based in the US and you're looking for that sort of one-stop shop for everything, I know Combat Abrasives do glues and epoxies, all the rest of them, G10, that kind of thing as well. But USA Knife Maker, they supply everything that you need, from bolts to belts, pretty much anything you'd need. So I know a lot of new makers will go there knowing that they can get everything all in one hit. So that's USA Knife Maker. Another one very similar is Jantz, Jantz Supplies. Again, a one-stop shop for anything you need as a knife maker. Now, if you're based in France like myself, we're very fortunate to have some amazing wood suppliers here. So the first one is Bois 52. They do incredible stabilized stuff, some of it dyed, just really, really beautiful stuff. So that's Bois 52. Another one is Mercon, and they've just had a new website built, which is fantastic. So it's in multiple languages, so it's very easy to navigate. But they do scales, blocks, they do a horn, they do all sorts of stuff. But that's mercon.fr. Another piece of equipment here, which I can't live without, is my Tormek for sharpening. They have distributors all around, but you can see what they do at Tormek. I think it's tormek.com. Again, it's down in the description. But find a local distributor, and they're great machines just for sharpening your blades to make everything repeatable. Now, I'm just going to throw in two suppliers from the UK who they basically do everything. So the first is Machine Mart, very low cost stuff. If you need in files, that kind of stuff. They have stores around the country, so you can pop and get those. And the second is Axminster. Very similar to Machine Mart, but they do maybe slightly more higher end stuff with regards to big drill presses to milling machines, right down to a scrap of sandpaper. So that's Axminster. So check them out. So that's 35 resources for knife makers, and I think I've probably missed out a lot. So if you've got a resource, whether it's a person that you follow, whether it's a YouTube channel, whether it's a forum that you use, let us know down in the comments.